Hello everyone, my name is Mason Patton and my course is Introduction to Teaching Students about Artificial Intelligence. This is the edits based on the peer review that I got from the workshop. Uh, I will say with this course, how to teach students with AI is to better understand AI. So we looked at how AI is used and how teachers can use it and how they can use it to better students. And they can do this by reflecting on their own experience. So the course itself, um, looking at it. So we see what AI is, how to use it effectively and ethically. It's a very common topic now, so we're teaching students how to better use it through teachers' understanding of it with best practices. This will be completed through scholarly resources, journals, discussion posts, and project-based learning. Um, so one of the few things I made change to my course was the images I used. Originally, I did not source my images based on what Claire Crow gave me, so I added new images and I also added the image source through each area of my course. As we keep going, we look at the course learning goals and objectives. Um, so I've got each goal stated, which students understand key concepts in AI ethics and how they apply to real-world situations. They will explore how to integrate AI tools in their school assessments based on their learning experiences, and they'll also understand how the basics of AI work. Um, their objectives they're listed below. So, most students will look at common ethical issues and apply ethical principles to address the challenges and responsible responsibility in different ways. Students will be able to apply AI tools to their assignments, showing how these technologies can assist in research, brainstorming, and produce effective work. And they'll also describe how AI works through collecting data and such through everyday examples to show how they understand the process of it. And again, that was another image there that I had to replace and add a source to. I also went through each slide and I changed the size of the font. That way, if a student who may have had been visually impaired or required larger print, they did have access to this. Uh, and that was just my own observation through the course as I was going through the feedback. I think I felt it was best to add this in there and change that. The requisite skills that was needed, I had indication through both Matt King and Claire Crow that I was missing this piece. So I went through each page and or I went through my requisite skills and added the things that was needed in order to complete this course that I felt was necessary. Um, so, like for example, time management, communication, and such. Uh, I felt this was important to be able to have so students knew what was expected of them if they're going to complete the course. I also added my privacy policy based on what Claire Crow told me. She indicated that I needed to have this, and the only thing I'm collecting is names and email addresses along with any work that's submitted. There will be no personal data collected, shared, sold to anyone. What happens in that workshop basically stays in that workshop, other than the name and email, which might be used to tell someone, "Hey, we're having another workshop. Should you decide to enroll, take that time and go for it." I do have a water cooler. So this is basically like one of those support forums. That way, the learners have support. I mean, they have it from their peers. They have it from many different areas that they can go back through. And if they just need a question answered from me, I can answer it as the instructor. Again, they also have their peers as well. The water cooler is just also a spot to just kind of, hang out online. They do have additional support as well. Um, so for student success they have, like I said, the sport forum or the water cooler. They can also go through and reach out to the service desk and the counseling department if needed throughout the course, because sometimes the mental health of a student is important, so they need to know where these resources are. The course technology that's needed, that's indicated in the requisite policy. Something else I did in that requisite policy, um, at the end of the course here, I have, or this introduction, have let's take a guess about you. What I did was I indicated that this shows me that they know how to use the discussion post when they complete this. I also did have a practice assignment as well. And that practice assignment basically indicated that they knew how to upload documents into this LMS as well. So I have this here. Again, this is just showing me that they know how to actually use this LMS system as we move through. So I have that learner interaction. There's that engagement piece. In the modules itself, um, to promote learning and engage the students, what I did was, based on the feedback I was given by Claire Crow, was I needed to have this through with all of my work. So like some assignments and discussions had, directions, but there was no, hey, you need to go through and, do it by this day and time. So in each discussion, I went through and took the time to add, here is what you need to do, and here's the grading policy. So I made sure my grading policy had, complete by such date. She also indicated in my work that I needed to say, in my discussion post, based off what we were doing, this is what you need to do. So, for example, here I have the article that the students had to read, and then they had to do this next assignment. I actually needed to do that through all of my discussion posts. So I went through and I added all the pieces of, the materials we used. That way students understood what was expected. And again, there's the grading policy as well. I had to do this for all my discussion posts to ensure that the work was going to be completed. Again, there's the article based on what was covered that day, and again, the grading policy as well. Something else I did when we're looking at the modules. So I had, this was all very cluttered based on the feedback by Matt King. It was a lot of clicking, and someone who may have the use of assistive technology, whether it might be to a physical thing, I needed to make it all more clear into a single condensed area. So I initially had each instructional resources Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I needed to change it up to where students who may have an issue might not be able to, a physical issue might not have to click through everything, each individual thing. So it's all on one page. Claire Crow also indicated, and Matt King, that I needed to add my sources of my work. So I sourced out all the PDFs I used. And something else I did was Claire said that it wasn't working with assistive technology, meaning someone may not have access to a certain technology that allows them to use Adobe, and it might not work with the assistive technology. So as they go through, you can click each link, and it will bring up its PDF into whatever internet provider they're using. Not provider, but the Google Chrome or such, so they can access it and see the work and use their assistive technology. I did that for Monday through Thursday, which all the instructional pieces they need, I needed to cover were there. So students did have that, and again, they're all sourced out. I couldn't provide a transcript for here when I embedded this. I originally had it linked and it wasn't embedded, but now that it's embedded, students can click into this video and transition to YouTube where they can pull up the transcript itself. So if a student also if they are visually impaired, they can click closed captions. So they do have that option. So if they are deaf and hard of hearing, they can still see everything that they need as well for their work. In the modules as well, and that was just in the instructional resource, the activities. Claire Crow also indicated I needed to put the instructional pieces that I was using with my activity. So I went through each one and I provided the instructional resources on the day with that same activity. So that way it was more clear of like, hey, you need to be reading this while completing these assignments rather than just having the assignments listed and students forgetting or being confused of what they had to do. So it was more clear now by changing this up, and I was able to do it through each day throughout the workshop. And with the additional resources, I had to do the same thing because it wasn't clear at first. There was multiple tabs to click through. In these pieces, I do have where it is linked, and students can also download it at the same time should they choose to. The support forum, this is where students can go and talk to a peer. If a peer is not responding, then within a certain time frame, I will also respond. In my About Me tab, where we introduce the facilitator, which is myself, I did decide to leave an image of myself. That way students knew who I was, but I gave some background about me so they have that connection, and I left my email so should they need to get in contact with me, they can. Another thing I did was, based on the feedback I was given by Claire Crow, was in my assignments I need to be, like I said, more clear with my directions. So I did change directions. I kind of reworded them, but I also needed to kind of change my rubrics around because, or add a rubric, excuse me. I did not have a rubric added here, so I did add this in with the infographic. She said I need to make sure I kept it clear and to the point, simple. So based on what I was looking for, I just added these pieces in because I felt it was more efficient this way. Matt King did indicate he liked the activities, but it also did need something there as well to make sure that I could accurately grade that I ensured, knowing that students did what was expected of them. Um, Another thing I did for my Friday case study was I went through and I just made sure the language is all good, and that way students could also access the website. I didn't change anything in the rubric here as well because it did seem very well to me. Um, and then Saturday was the application exploration. I didn't change anything here as well, but I did make sure that this was based off a student's experience rather than the work here because it built upon and all the work scaffold throughout the duration of this workshop. Um, in all, as I went through this workshop, um, what I did notice, the changes that I made at the end of it was I created a policy for the course, what technology were going to be used, the requisite skills of what they needed to do. I uncluttered the modules. I made copyright images and videos. I gave those sources. I cited what was needed there. I provided a grading policy and rubric for all my assignments. I ensured that the resources were added in each directions along with um, in each assignment and in each necessary area of the course, whether it be uh, instructional resources are in the activities itself. Um, I stated which technologies were needed with each assignment. So Clara Crow did give me that feedback of telling students, hey, this is what you need to use in these different areas. So for example, here I would recommend using Canva to complete the assignments. I originally didn't have that, but it was a good indication because not all students will know what to use when creating certain materials. Uh, Instead of just having assignments where they're downloaded, I did link them in there so students could pull up the original documents and download if they chose to. Prerequisite skills again were provided, and then I had where students could practice submitting their assignments through both a discussion post, which was the about them, which showed me they knew how to use it, and they also submitted a practice document, and the text isn't compatible with an HTML or it's compatible with assistive technology, excuse me. Um, but those were the changes I noted from my peers, and I added to my course. Thank you.